Welcome back to my channel. My name is Armand Plays, and welcome back to Pokemon Saiph. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Last episode we got to, what was the name of this forest again? Let's see, Patter Forest. We caught a few Pokemon. We caught a Bonsly, we caught a Starly ultimately, and I forgot to heal up last episode evidently. So yes, I want to go through the forest and hopefully go over to the first gym leader. And it seems like this is actually doing relatively decently, so that's exciting. Seems like I remember where the mom is and get her to heal me. Okay, we're healed. Okay, yes, it seems like that the first episode is doing relatively decently, and I'm glad people are actually being interested inside of this ROM hack here, and particularly that I've been playing, because I really actually kind of enjoyed playing ROM hacks to begin with, and I'm interested where this is going to take me, especially since look at the fucking art style, really. Sure, the main character, the character you play as, looks a little cheesy with kind of like noodle arms, like bowl-like feet almost, but it's got its own kind of wholeness to it. It's really unique still how somebody was able to actually take Vatron, to be exact, unless they actually got it from somebody else for the textures. No matter what, they did a fantastic job on the textures here, because looking at it, somebody actually imported Black and White's main texture set from there to GBA, which is fantastic. Now, like I said, I do want to actually get to the next city, go through here, and be able to possibly be able to beat the first gym leader. But I figured I'd actually catch train Bonsly, sorry. Now, just like last episode, if there's any name you want me to actually name my Pokemon, mention in the comments, and I will actually name it that. Now, evidently I didn't realize my volume was so low, so it won't change ultimately on the recording, but yeah, here. Okay. Let's see. Weedle. Okay, sorry, Sweedle. Sorry. My bad. Okay, this sucks. Fake Teals, lower down attack, I believe. Copycat copies the last move used and uses it. Okay. If that's remember correctly. Let's see. Rockhead, nice. Okay. See, special defense. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. But you copy and let you be able to use the best of battle. Okay, so this is, I know didn't get too far last episode, and I really would like to, but the fact that I don't want to drag it on too long, because I know some people who just don't actually like watching things for hours and hours. And sorry that I cut off recording and accidentally hit my microphone. But yes. I know there's a lot of people who don't like watching things that are hours long, because a lot of people don't have enough time for it, so I've been trying to keep them shorter, and I hope that people's liking it, so, yeah. Sorry. So, yes. Now, I don't know exactly what Pokemon are actually all inside of this ROM hack. I just remember I did get through a bit and actually went to the first gym leader. I remember now more accurately. I went through and beat the first gym leader, I believe, and that's ultimately where I stopped, because I want to make sure that I actually ran relatively fully, because no offense, ultimately some ROM hacks ultimately have a problem where they just don't actually work correctly all the way through, and I use pretty much going through the first gym as a relative judge of what to take out of this. So yeah, I did go through it, and I decided I wanted to actually record it for YouTube here. Okay, can you stop using Protect, please? But yes, so far there's actually not much going on here, so I haven't really wanted to record too much else right now, because I've been playing still Pokemon Sword, and really good there. Okay, I gotta admit, Burmy is like one of the most annoying Pokemon there are, because of the constant Protect. Okay, seriously, this is becoming ridiculous. But anyway, god damn it. Okay, I thought it was my move that actually failed. Okay, never mind. But yeah, the art style still of this game is actually... I know the battle screen here is actually relatively simplistic, and I have to admit, for the trainers here, they're actually relatively better graphics than what they were. And all the Pokemon that are inside have more of an accurate feel when it comes down to their movesets and their actual stats, which is something I really like so far. Now, of course, I may not actually train on camera unless people want me to, because ultimately, it's one of those things I don't exactly see people wanting to see too much. And if you do, just mention it, and I'll probably make 1 or 2 videos of it actually be me spamming just on the training. And the reason why I'm saying ultimately I don't see people actually wanting to see that is because the fact that I personally myself would not want to see nothing but one person running around back and forth in the grass, just beating up the same set of Pokemon here and there, just to be able to get the Pokemon leveled up for basically the next episode. Which is still something I imagine some people would actually like to see, but yeah, if you want to, just let me know in comments or something, you know, if you want to. Hell, if you don't want to actually let me know anything, don't, it's that simple. Now, of course, when it comes down to the team here, I would like to have a more well-rounded group. And that is just so I actually have an easier time going through the game, because one thing I've learned ultimately is just because you have a favorite type of Pokemon or you get a hold of a favorite Pokemon does not mean you want to build around just that one set Pokemon, because it can actually mess you up real bad. It can fuck you up. It will make it to where the game is a lot harder, but if you enjoy doing it, that's more power to you ultimately. I've done it multiple times myself, and this is one of those times where I don't really want to. Really, I should actually level up Bonsly, thinking about it. But yes, I don't remember how you evolve Bonsly exactly. It may be happiness, I'm not 100% sure. Of course, when it comes down to ROM hacks to begin with, depending on what ROM hack you're talking about, depends on exactly what you have going for it. Some I've played are actually going more towards realism of how they actually evolve and what moves they actually learn as they level up. And in doing so, you have a bunch of different things that actually go about that way. I don't know exactly how this one's going to go about, but I'm really interested and really hoping this is actually going to become one of the best ROM hacks I've played exactly. So far, it's actually living up to that so far, from what I have played. But yeah. Welcome to today's news on the Colin News Network. Today I have a great announcement that will definitely get every trainer's attention. The Colin Pokemon League has opened its doors, and so did the Pokemon League Challenge. This means that trainers around Colin can participate by getting as many of the 8 badges as they can. When they manage to collect them all, they can enter the Pokemon League to become the region's very first champion. I'm here with a young trainer who just started his journey. Now, tell me, are you planning to join the challenge? I am. Actually, I was on my way to the Pokemon Gym to attempt to get my very first badge. Me and my Rattata will become the top of the tops. Okay, one thing to note before I continue. When ultimately I actually check out ROM hacks to make sure they actually work relatively well, I normally just skip most dialogue and actually go through a little bit of the game for the main part just to see if they actually function, and then later on restart them so I can actually play them fully. I never actually really read this, so he's like every beginning trainer ever, ultimately, it seems like. So he has a Rattata, that's what it kind of seems. But honestly, in most actual Pokemon games, you always find that one trainer who just seriously thinks his Rattata's can be the best of the best. Of course, I do know there's some exceptions to that, but it's just really interesting to find out when you find somebody that's not, and kind of ironic when you find one that does. So, yeah, that's the spirit. Well, I hope you'll succeed. I know it's about the end there. A new trainer. Are you planning on taking the Pokemon League Challenge? Probably, yeah. Just as I thought. Well, I hope you'll succeed. This is all for today's news. See you all next time. This Pokemon Challenge seems interesting. I should look around for that gym. Okay, I don't remember exactly what the gym was, honestly. Because, yeah, like I said, I skimmed through most of it. I just went through, sped the game up to like ×4 its normal speed, and just blew through a good chunk of the game to see if it actually worked correctly. So it's actually more of a blur. Let's see, what do you have to say? This was the... Ooh, excuse me, sorry. This was the latest city added to Colin's map. However, this city has the first gym. Ironic, isn't it? Kind of. Can we go over this way? No. Okay, so I do want to explore the houses ultimately, but I figured I'd actually check out everybody outside first. Let's see. The city is famous for its modern building design, but what matters is the inside, right? Kinda, yeah. Did I talk to you already? Okay, I worked on the power plant underground, which is also used as a gym. Okay, it doesn't exactly seem like very good planning. Can't go this way. Let's see, Route 2's that way. Good to know. Okay, let's see what's inside of here. I want to start my Pokemon journey, but I need a Pokeball. However, I don't know where to get one. Could you get me a Pokeball? I'll pay you back, of course. Yeah, here. There's side quests here. These are little side missions during the game that don't affect the story at all. They're all entirely optional, but doing them does worth it. Okay, I think it is worth it, but whatever. Since you might get something rare. Thank you. A simple Pokeball will do it. Okay, I think I have one actually. Got it. Thank you so much. Okay. So, yeah. So there's missions inside of here, like side missions. That's really unique. Normally you don't find too many ROM hacks that actually has that. Which is an interesting feature, ultimately. As I said, here's the prize. 500. Something worth 200, gain 500 for. Ultimately, it's like getting another Pokeball and half of that point. Now, I can start my journey. See you later. I think you're gonna need more than one Pokeball for that, dude. My brother really hypes this gym thing. I'm not that interested though. Okay, so she's not interested in the Pokemon League. Okay, whatever. Let's see, what do you have to say? My husband works at the gym. It's the city's only workplace though. Okay, that's kind of poor. I didn't know. I actually moved my thumb upwards and actually interacted with the TV, and it didn't that Vatron actually came out and actually put that much work into it. Damn, okay. Welcome to today's news on the Colin News Network. Isn't this the report where I showed up? Okay, yes. If I remember exactly the name, let me actually double check this here. Vatron was actually the ROM hack creator. I forgot to mention that in the first episode. But yeah, thank you though, Vatron, for taking notice that I actually am enjoying your ROM hack so far. Let you know it is really good. Of course, criticism here and there is not something I'm actually going to be trying to get because I'm trying to enjoy the game. But thank you for actually producing it, and yeah, so thank you. Because it's really good so far. Let's see, do you have anything to say? The people Sorry, the Pokemon League, huh? This seems interesting. That's it? Let's see, what do you have to say? Oh, what already talked to you, fuck, never mind. Okay. Okay, Waddle's here. Ah, Rogue. Since you are here, come in. I'll show you something important. Sorry. I don't really remember going to the Pokemon Center really much. I have to applaud Vatron here for this one. It's like copy and paste straight from black and white, but in a 16-bit animation. How some things actually look exactly the same. Look at the PC here, for example. Hell, North Joy actually looks pretty much exact. Damn. So, yes. This red roofed buildings are called Pokemon Centers. You can heal your Pokemon at the counter by asking the nurse. She's really nice and gives trainers free healthcare every time. Well, it's kind of the weird part. You know how much... It's one thing that I'm ultimately curious about that's not really mentioned too much. How do the nurse joys actually get funded for this? Because you know, having to literally heal constantly Pokemon every single... probably like every couple of hours is actually kind of expensive to begin with. How do nurse joys keep up with that funding? It's free for the trainers. Ultimately, what do... if you're not taking the League Challenge, is it actually going to be a pay-for thing? It's really confusing sometimes. It's something the Pokemon Company hasn't really mentioned too much. And it's I'm very interested in actually finding out eventually if they ever do mention. So, now if they've mentioned I missed it, please let me know, because the fact is it's going to show how stupid I am on this one. This is the Pokemart. In certain regions, they have a separate building, but here it's inside the Pokemon Centers. Anyway, here you can buy all sorts of useful items, from potions to Pokeballs. But be sure to check multiple marts, because certain marts have a different rosters of items. Okay, sorry, whatever. Be sure to have enough Pokeballs and potions. Really? Really here? God, I haven't played Black and White in a long time. Personally, Black and White's not my favorite Pokemon game that's been created. Ultimately, it's not bad in my opinion. I feel it was a little bit rushed for the story to begin with, but it's ultimately still pretty good. If you want to see me play it, let me know in the comments. Ultimately, sorry, but I need to pick this up. Yes, I see. Okay, I'll be there soon. Sorry to interrupt this, but one of my aides called me to head back to the to the lab as fast as I can. Well, see you later, and good luck. I almost forgot. Your mom wanted me to give you this. Okay, so I got a smartphone. She said that this will be useful in case of emergencies, but I hope nothing bad will happen. Well, good luck on your journey, Rogue. Okay. So far, we have a smartphone. Can we use it? No. Okay, can't use it. So what's in the Pokemon? Let's see. You can only get Great Balls here? Really? Okay, wow, okay. I might as well pick up on some items here real quick. Let's see. Now, if it's anything, really, when it comes down to Pokemon and their evolutions and moves, ultimately, it should be relatively the same. Okay, I can't buy any more. It should be relatively the same if it's anything. Well, if it's anything that's similarly the same, it should be relatively simplistic to find out what's what. But yeah, please feel free to use the PC in the corner. The receptionist told me so. It's so kind of her. Okay. You can actually run. I just noticed that you can actually run, but it's like all GBA hacks, you could say. well, GBA games to begin with, you have this one little thing with like a split-second lag for the animation sometimes, where you can see your feet will just all come joined together. Really hilarious sometimes. Pokemon Sentinels heal your tired, hurt, or fainted Pokemon. They make all Pokemon completely healthy. Okay. Okay, now I'm curious ultimately what the PC looks like, because this is really interesting, really ironic. Let's see, moves, I don't have any other Pokemon. Okay, it still looks the same, which is perfectly fine. Honestly, you can't blame him for ultimately keeping it the same. Sorry, I'm a little congested still, like always. But you can't blame him for ultimately keeping it the same, because the fact is, ultimately, when it comes down to it, he's done a lot of work so far. All the textures here has been added in, ultimately, are fantastic. So far, the story, the interactions, at one point in time I actually decided I was going to actually try to get into and try to see how to create a ROM hack myself. And I didn't get too far, ultimately, because of a bunch of problems. But I did learn a good amount about all the work you have to put into be able to actually make one. Because I've always really been interested in learning how you make a game to begin with, and Pokemon being one of my favorite game series is actually one of those things I've really wanted to look into. And to find out about it, it's a lot harder than what it looks, truthfully. A lot of people might think it's actually easy because of the end result. Even with the most simplistic thing of like changing the Pokemon's level can be relatively difficult. And ultimately a lot of people may think it's actually easy because of the end result being of this magnitude. And how easy it may be because of how much hasn't been changed. But ultimately, it takes a lot of work to be able to actually edit one thing or another. Just to be able to add in a simple trainer on its own takes hours of coding, ultimately. And for more complex, for like this entire storyline so far, for the interactions, the choices between there, the side missions you can do, it's a lot of work, and ultimately, I have to say that they've done a good job ultimately for this. Baytron's done really good for this. So, I know since I'm giving a lot of positive feedback, but ultimately it's because I'm shocked for how much they've actually done for this. So, yeah. I highly do suggest actually checking it out. I will put a link down below from where I actually got it, so you can actually download it yourselves if you're really interested in playing it. I forgot to do that last episode, and yeah, I apologize, but I'll try to remember this time. Hey there, champ. You're here to take on the gym, aren't you? Come over here and I'll share some stuff, okay? That might be useful, okay? First of all, let me tell you what a gym is. Regions that hold Pokemon leagues have 8 gyms scattered around. Each gym has a certain type and a interior that resembles it. Many trainers are around to test our skills. Your skills. Okay, I'm just misreading a lot of this shit. Sorry. With only the certain type of gym. If you manage to get through the obstacles, you can face the gym leader. The gym leader has a powerful and well-built party of Pokemon in that one type. Beating them isn't easy, but if you succeed, you obtain the gym badge. But getting all 8, you can qualify for the Pokemon League to become the champion. Now that the history class is over, I'll tell you about this particular gym. You'll face electric type Pokemon around here, meaning that types that resist electricity are your best choices, such as grass or ground. The gym leader, Cherry, looks soft, but she won't go easy on you, kid, okay? To start, you need to use these machines to teleport into the gym's room. You'll face some trainers here before you can challenge Cherry. Good luck, kid. Okay, so we gotta go up over here to be able to challenge them, and ultimately, since how soon you get to it, I don't know if it's gonna be too difficult, but we'll have to see. Okay, so teleport, yes. Ultimately, I know Bonds just let him flail, but yeah, I did not remember it was an electric type at all. Like I stated in the last episode, when I downloaded these, I ran through them relatively quickly, and I went through them ultimately just going through, seeing what was what, and exactly how well they'd actually perform, and see if there's any bugs that would actually cause me not to be able to play them. And doing so, I went through a lot of them in one day, so it's hard to remember. I don't remember which one it was I downloaded, but the fact is, there was one I downloaded with the Grass Gym, and I thought that was going to be this. So, yeah. Really, honestly, what type is Bonsly? I don't remember. Okay, straight rock type. I didn't remember if he's rock or rock and ground. So, he should be relatively decent, while my Oshawott should not, because water and all. Which this is going to take a good while. So, yeah. Well, never mind, that's a critical. Okay, so I don't know what all Pokemon are inside of here. I know that not all Pokemon that have actually been created are inside of this ROM hack. Ultimately, that would be too much coding to try to do. And from me working on my own ROM hack I've tried to do in the past, which I ultimately did give up on because of all the problems I've had with it, I did learn that ultimately one of the best things to do when working on your own ROM hack is to actually try to edit the Pokemon sprite, type, abilities, and moveset to try to match the Pokemon you're trying to emulate. Which is one of the best things to try to do inside of ROM hacks like this, but there's some ROM hacks that do go to the extra mile and actually go through the work of creating extra data for new Pokemon entirely. Now, this may be one of those types, but when those are the ones I'm mostly interested in general, when it comes down to mechanical. Because I'm ultimately wondering how they can take a simple ROM hack and add in new things when most actual ROM editors actually refuse to let you be able to do that. I know you can actually use a lot of different things like Notepad, gedit, depending on exactly what your operating system is. And you can actually edit it that way, but I'm really curious still about it because if anything, I would still like to be able to produce my own because I enjoy Pokemon so much. It's a little something to give back, ultimately. And one thing I ultimately see ROM hacks for are ultimately how somebody enjoyed the game series so much they wanted to actually express it by showing what they can do with it and what they wanted to actually show, ultimately. Because just because you create it because you want to, and you put all this work, that means you have a lot of passion towards it, and ultimately, it's going to sound bad. But if you produce that much work into something like that, either you really enjoyed a lot, or you really have potential to go into creating actual games yourself. And really, if you have that much potential, you could actually make your own game series just as good, ultimately, if not better, in some cases. And I know it's going to sound bad, especially from what I said. I would like to eventually. And I will pretty much see it as a home project to see if I can actually do it. But honestly, if you can do it, it's one of those things you've proven that you have the potential, the passion for it, the drive, ultimately, to work hard and create your own games if you want to. And I know there's actually been a lot of people who have actually done that before. Okay, it's the gym later. I know there's a lot of people who've done that before, and in doing so, decided to go down that route, which I ultimately have to applaud for doing so. I could have just went the other way around. But, yeah. There's a lot of people who's done that, and I don't know anybody personally or by name ultimately that goes through and actually makes farm hacks and actually started making their own games. But for those people who's done so, that's one of those things you've actually put a lot of work into it, and you've proven that you have the passion to do something like this. And it being a lot of work ultimately can turn a lot of people off from doing this. And it's something that you need to actually get across to yourself that it's not going to be easy, it's going to be hard and hard to do, and it's going to take a long time. But ultimately, I look at things more as a coder standpoint, because honestly, in the grander scheme of things, I'm actually more of a, well, nerd to a degree, you could say. A mixture of nerd and geek, you could say. So I look at things and I actually work on code a lot myself. And it's not easy a lot of the time. Sometimes you have a lot of frustrating days. Sometimes you have your easy days. And then sometimes your entire computer just stops working altogether. And seeing something like this still come out of something where somebody has so much drive to do so much passion towards it, really makes me happy to actually see that. But enough about that for now. We have the gym leader to face. Welcome, Challenger. I have been waiting for you. The gym assistant called me about your arrival. I'm kinda excited because you are the gym's very first challenger. Anyway, my name is Cherry, and this is my Pokemon gym. Even though I only give away the first badge, I still won't be easy on you. Okay, bring it. Let's see. Okay, I can already tell it's actually a homebrew animation. Well, I'd say textures almost for the gym leader, Cherry. And it's actually really fucking good, ironically. I know, honestly, most of the time you actually have to deal with a lot of shading, like you can see here about our main character's texture there. There's a lot of different shadings and shit before it, and it's actually very simplistic, but they've done really good. But let's see, Joltik. I did not remember Joltik was in the game. Joltik on its own is actually relatively, I forgot to move that there by the way. Joltik on its own is ultimately a relatively good Pokemon, in my opinion. I'm not too good a fan of all the Pokemon that came out of Black and White, but it's one of those Pokemon I actually relatively enjoy. But, still, if I'm not mistaken, Joltik's a bug and electric, so if we actually had a rock type move, it should do relatively decent. And it seems like we're doing relatively good. Okay, as suspected, she was going to be relatively more easy than the rest of them. But it doesn't mean her final Pokemon is going to be relatively easy. As most ROM hacks and Pokemon games in general, you mostly get eased into the fact that Gym Leader is supposed to be relatively difficult, and in doing so, it's more of a learning process to a degree. Which is interesting enough on its own, but honestly, in the grander scheme of things, a lot of older players ultimately have learned so many tactics that you actually can just skim through everything and still be able to beat the game relatively easy. In some cases, like ROM hacks here is the exception because they're ultimately the creation of somebody else other than the Pokemon company, so you don't exactly know what to expect unless you know them personally. And it seems like that things for this gym were actually about the same way to a degree. First gym's relatively easy, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be too much easy. It doesn't seem like it's going to be very easy upon continuing onwards. That's just what I'm getting ultimately off of this, because you can ultimately tell roughly what the gym challenge, its level is supposed to be, or difficulty. is supposed to be by the trainers within the gym. Because ultimately it's supposed to be a challenge to get there to begin with and then actually to beat them. And in some cases you actually get a whole Pokemon like Bonsly here, which ultimately is not very powerful but can actually resist. Can actually resist Pokemon, electric Pokemon relatively easy. Now, I know it's probably going to change because the fact that the main weakness of Bonsly is the speed and the special defense. And just because that is the case, does not mean I'm going to stop training Bonsly though. Okay, yeah, as expected, the first gym leader was going to be relatively easy. I think it's because of I had Bonsly in the party. Sweet, Bonsly learned Low Kick. Now, I don't remember how to evolve Bonsly exactly. I think maybe Rock Tomb, I don't know. But enough of that. I'm impressed by your skills. Well, take this. You deserve it. Really ironic sound still. The Bolt Badge. Okay. Also, take this with you. TM34. What's 34? This is a technical machine, TM for short. TMs contain a move that you can teach to certain Pokemon. Back in 2011, they started producing versions with infinite usage, so you don't need to worry about losing it after a single use. TM34 contains Shockwave. Okay. It's an electric type move that never misses its target. I think it'll be useful for you. Many people use Pokemon, but only the strongest and most skilled ones can become champions. I think you have the potential to become someone important in this world. You should definitely try getting all badges. You won't regret it. Okay, so we beat the first gym leader. Like I suspected, it was going to be relatively easy for the first one, and I keep going around this way to get to the Pokemon Center, but I could have been going the other way and been quicker. Yes, I'm being a retard. Okay, Bonsly seems to be doing well. I kind of want to train Bonsly more, since the fact is, I've trained a Sudowoodo before, but the fact is, I've never really trained it too far. And I don't really want to train a Starly to a degree right now. Now, I still want to be able to actually beat the game and actually complete the Pokedex here. Because some things about the Pokedex is probably not going to work out too well. I'm curious to see exactly what initiative was taken for it. One thing I haven't checked though, yeah, there's still no listing inside of here. I'm guessing ultimately it's because of the fact that the Pokemon we have right now actually were edited or added into the National Dex. Which is something to really be concerned about a little bit. Because I remember in Fire Red there was this bug ultimately that had to be dealt with. It was how ultimately if you had a Pokemon that would evolve into a Pokemon from the National Dex, either via trading or it being something like Golbat here, it would actually not work at all. At one point in time I had this Zubat that I evolved into Golbat later on. I was trying to get it to evolve into Crobat because I actually found out what its evolution was and how to evolve it. I went through the entire game, and even after I beat the Elite Four trying to evolve it, it hit this point though where every time it would level up it would try to evolve, but it would ultimately just hit a point where it was saying, oh, something went wrong, it can't evolve. And that was actually very annoying, because the fact is, I got it up to level 100 and it even wouldn't evolve. It would start and go through the animation and then stop working altogether. Which was very irritating. But yeah, I ultimately kept it for the longest time. Of course I don't have any more. I restarted the game. My suggestion though, for if anybody didn't actually know that, if you're going to ultimately train a Pokemon that is either not from Fire Red's straight Dex, or it is a Golbat, and you want to evolve into a Pokemon later on that you get from the National Dex, put a fucking Everstone on it or you will never be able to evolve the bitch. It was irritating as all hell, ultimately. And I went through testing ultimately. Later on, I remembered the same problem, and I decided, okay, I was going to train one, but it was like after I beat the Elite Four. I went through, I caught one, I trained it, and it actually did evolve. So it was very annoying to have to deal with that. So I hope other people had better luck than I did with that. But enough of that. I heard I can find antidotes here. Those pink cinnamon rolls, sorry. Cinnamon rolls are so cute. I don't remember if there's Fakemon inside of here. If there is, okay, more power to them. Okay, so far it seems like just same as the other route. Now, of course, if there's any Pokemon we run into relatively interesting, I want to catch it and try to train it. Yeah, it's just the same roughly. It's the same at a higher level, it seems. But we beat the gym leader, ultimately. So yeah, I guess it's all that matters for this episode, I guess. You came across. Now we battle. Okay, what Pokemon do you have? You guys that was talking about the Rattata and everything. Okay, you have one Patrat. Okay, you're not the same guy. Thank God. So, let's see, low kick. Okay, this is relatively decently. So for what I'm seeing is they're actually keeping the level relatively similar to what yours would be afterwards, more so than usual. I think I remember correctly reading that it actually stated it had increased difficulty. Which, when it comes down to difficulty of ROM hacks, I found you have basically 3 types. You have relatively easy, you have hard, and then you have impossible. The impossible being the ones that are actually set up to be, no matter what, the exact same level as your highest level Pokemon. And depending on exactly Pokemon you're able to choose, depends if that's going to become impossible for you to beat them, or relatively easy for you to beat them. Honestly, for the entire thing, it's relatively interesting to keep them the same level, but it becomes really irritating in the long run. And I don't really play ROM hacks like that too much. It's too irritating to actually go through. Because honestly, it irritates the hell out of me to have to ultimately train my Pokemon up just to find out that I can't beat them because no matter what, my levels are going to be the same. And for certain ones where some people have actually done making versions of the Pokemon anime from the first season and creating it into an actual ROM hack, it's really irritating and it makes it almost impossible because you're talking about like an electric Pokemon being Pikachu in this case, battling Pokemon of even level like Onix and Geodude. Now, of course, some ROM hacks have actually made it to where electric type Pokemon can affect ground type, just not as well. But I think I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you all for watching. Please let me know if there's any name you want to actually have me name my Pokemon. Like it if you want to. It doesn't really fucking matter to me. Besides letting me know that you enjoy the series more. And ultimately, hope you have a nice day. That kind of thing, you know. Now, I'll try to remember to put it down in the comments for what the ROM hack is. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.